Welcome to the 2024-25 opening press conference for Charlotte women's basketball for the 49ers get set to open the season on Monday against Presbyterian. Joining us today is head coach Tamika Reed, along with student athletes Haley Breland and KK Green. We're opening up the floor for questions.
Haley and KK, this could be for both of you guys, but when I talked to Tamika the other day about just what this team wants to do, I mean, it's not so much of a slow build. It's really like we want to win right away. What do you think that does for players when that's just the mindset from the very beginning when you come into the building?
I feel like it's all we know. We practice hard every day. We give our 100% effort. We get better, 1% better, and we just go out there and keep going.
I say the pressure is to motivate you. She put it on us, and she do it for a reason. She pushes us every day, like KK said. We get 1% better every day. It's not gonna be. We know personally that each player, we know that it's one step better every day. So it's natural.
Coach Reed, as it relates to winning immediately, you retain your coaching staff from Jackson State. How has that made the transition easier, just from either a X and O standpoint or just the camaraderie standpoint?
Yeah, retaining my staff was really important because I'm not having to teach a new staff what my expectations are. I'm not having to teach them how to handle the players behind the scenes. On court is a little bit easier to manage, but off the court, having those coaches that knows the players' personalities and know how to get the players' attention and how to keep the players on board with what my standards are, that has helped tremendously. And so that was really important to me. Revolving doors are never easy to deal with. And so it was, very easy for me to bring them. They know what type of players I want in terms of recruiting, and they know how to get the players motivated. They know what my tolerance level is, how much I'm going to tolerate, when I've had enough, when to step in and take over. The Reeds are really good with the staff and I, so having them on board has helped this program move forward a lot faster than what it would normally be moving.
Coach, this is for you and Haley. What was the culture you built at Jackson State like, and how are you carrying that over here to Charlotte?
I'd say just that winning culture. It's really like she instills that in us, each and every player. Like, she brings it out of you. She gonna push you each and every day. And it's like, she's not gonna let you fall behind. She gonna keep pushing you each and every day, and I love her for that. And she's just amazing. She gonna bring it out of you, most definitely. That's that culture, that's that winning. We call it that dog.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough when you have a new team, and it's easy when you can bring in players who have won championships before, when you can bring in players who know what it takes to be a winning program right away. The tempo is faster, the pressure is realer, it's just a lot, and right now we're getting the players to understand that. We're getting the players to understand in order to be at a fast pace and accomplish what we want to accomplish in year one, you have to take tough coaching. You have to be resilient. And so it's not easy transferring that standard to a program where players are not used to. But when you have players like Haley and Daphne White and Madison Rochelle, who comes in with me from Jackson State, who can help explain to the players she's coaching you tough because she wants something out of you. She expects something out of you. And if we didn't have it, I would just kind of go through the motion, but this team has it. They have what it takes to be successful in year one, so it's my job to get it out of them.
For coach and players, obviously when Coach Reed was hired here, there was a lot of hype around the program. Now that we're just a few days away from season opener, what's the excitement like around the team right now and just the ready to go?
Yeah, I feel like we're just ready to play. We've been practicing all summer, all fall, so we're just ready to play, man. And, we have a good team, a good staff, and we're just ready to showcase what we have.
Yeah, I say we practice the whole month of October, like she said, August, all the way through. We've been practicing, going against each other, going at each other. So it's good to be able to go against somebody else, take that energy out on somebody else.
For me, it's been emotional. It's like okay, this is finally where you want to be. This is finally where you've always seen yourself at this level. You finally got an opportunity, and it's emotional because I'm really thankful. I'm extremely excited, and having to bottle those emotions and make sure they're coming out in a very positive way, because I know the players are depending on me. I know the coaching staff. They're all dependent on me. So it's like, bring this thing together, let's get it going. And so we're just excited. They've worked hard. She said August. They've been working since July, because we had to get ready for our Europe trip. And so now it's just bringing it all together, putting it on the floor, using it in the right direction so that we can be excited and have fun and showcase what we have to offer so that we can build our fan base and get people to really believe in the Reed era.
Haley and KK, this is for both of you guys. Obviously, team came from all kinds of different schools, right? From either, as high up as some of the Power Fours to, Jackson State to kind of everywhere in between. What do you feel like has helped you guys accelerate kind of that camaraderie part of it, kind of bringing together a bunch of different, past teams all kind of into one current team?
I say, the most part is just getting everybody on the same page. Like you said, we do have a lot of players from a lot of different places, but we all have that common goal. Like everybody wants to win. Don't nobody want to lose. So we gotta we're competitive. We compete every day, and I feel like they brought a lot of competitive players in. So I feel like that helps us a lot.
I feel like it's great for us. We all bring our different experiences and put it into one goal. Like Haley said, we all here to win. So that's what we got to do.
Building off of that Europe trip you talked about, talked to the coach about that. From the player's perspective, how big was that building the bonds with your teammates, a bunch of new staff, a bunch of new players? What was that trip like building that up?
It was great. I feel like we really got a chance to get to know each other, teammates and staff included. We were there for 10 days, so we spent a good amount of time with each other. We played some good competition. We got to experience a different side of the world, which is great.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. Like I got to know a lot about each and every one of my teammates, and I was grateful for that opportunity.
Coach, when you look at kind of how this team has come together this year, what do you think are kind of the things that have stuck out to you as just themes of this team, kind of like the story of what this team is going to bring to the court this year?
When I see my players and I see my team and I look at their stories, their backgrounds, for me it's hope. It's hope and opportunity. Some players have new hope that's been built. Some players have, they want to take advantage of this new opportunity. Some players had doors closed in their face. Some players didn't belong where they transferred from. Some players didn't feel like they had a relationship where they came from. And so we just kind of rebuilding that. And that's what we're working off of, hope and opportunity, and just taking advantage of that. Right now, women's basketball, we have a huge movement right now in women's basketball. And we have to create that to become a moment and just let it stay as long as it can. And so we're taking advantage of that opportunity, running off of hope, belief, vision, commitment, resilience. That's what we are building this team off of. And we love an underdog story. I've never in my career been chosen this low in the conference to be finished third from the bottom. And so that's hope for me, and that's push through for me. That's a drive for me as well, and so that's what we are built on. These girls are so talented, and they're so skilled, but they're so smart. They picked up on a system in 2 weeks and went over to Europe and executed that system, and now we're just fine-tuning what we already put in. So this is a very smart team, a team that's hungry, and I think you will not see an 11th place team in this team this year.
For the players, when you guys do get picked to finish that low in a poll, what does that kind of do for you guys? Just obviously, there's already some inherent motivation. That's how you become Division I athletes. But what kind of, does it do to kind of increase that for you guys when you see, okay, these are the expectations from the outside?
I say, like you said, it's motivation. Like I take that. I don't really look into all that because I feel like, everybody tie their shoes up the way I tie my shoes up. That's what I was brought up on. So, I use it as motivation to, build build myself up, dang, they going to pick us that low, but we'll prove them wrong.
Yeah, we're focused on us, honestly. We're trying to get 1% better every day, build this culture, and, instill what Coach Reed, show what Coach Reed instills in us. So we're not worried about that. It's going to show.
Coach, how much of a diversity of style did all the players come from, and how has that been to try to mesh it together?
That's a great question. My coaches did a great job in recruiting players who can get up and down the floor. We want fast guards, and so we recruited fast guards. We want guards who can score the ball on the outside, so we recruited and signed players who can shoot the ball on the outside. And we wanted post players who were agile, who can move, who can shoot the 15-footer, post players who can do more than just be back to the basket. And so we were able to really handpick our team, and I tell everybody this is a really good first-year team. When you get a job in April, you hit the grounds running June, like I did. My coaches hit the ground running in May. You kind of just get seconds, but we were able to really handpick and get a really good group of players. Players who come from, standards. You're talking about Texas A&M. That's a program with standards, the 12th man. That's a program that wants to be great. Haley, Jackson State, a program who's been great 5 years, 6 years consecutive, winning championships. I mean, we can go on down the list. We brought in some tough players, but all of our players have the same thing in common: resilience, mental toughness, and, just being a dog is what we called it, like Haley mentioned earlier, just being that tough player.
KK, how does this style affect you? How do you mesh into that? Is it different than what you were before?
No, and I'm a quick learner too, so I feel like with any system that I'm in, I'm gonna succeed.
And Haley, you had a lot of new teammates. How much did the European trip help you? And are you still getting to know, or do you know on the court? Just kind of, it's a tough situation, I imagine.
Yeah, it's a process. I'm a process type of person, so I'm willing to learn. I'm open to getting to know people. So I'm that open person. So I'm not closing any doors. I'm open for everything.
Coach, you play 12 out of 14 players on Wednesday night. Is that something you play a lot of players in your style? How does that work out?
Well, I'm normally right around 9 or 10 players. But yesterday we had a player out, another post player with an ankle injury. And we had early foul trouble in Kiana, and so we had to bring players off the bench. Sometimes right now, early on, we'll see about 10 or 11 players going into the game until we can get in good game shape. But right now, I'm asking my players to go hard for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, as hard as they can. And then we'll continue to build up on that stamina as the season go forward. So you will see more players. But right now, again, we're still trying to figure it out. Yeah, I like to sit here and tell you, I got it. I know exactly how it's going to be, but we don't. Again, we have all of our players can play. They're all talented in their personal regards. And so it's just now putting it all together and seeing who's going to get us over the hump in tough games and who's going to make, who's going to have us in those games.
Coach, your schedule kind of ramps up just a little bit in the early season. Can you talk a little bit about that and about the challenge that presents?
Yeah, we have a pretty heightened schedule in terms of some P5 schools, going on the road to some schools. We'll see a top 25 team in Ohio State really early. But I think it works for us to our advantage, because these teams are still trying to figure it out as well. As good as Ohio State will be, they have a team full of new players. They have 5 freshmen that are supposed to be really good, so they're gonna have to figure it out as well. But I think, having Newberry and Presbyterian, 2 good teams, we are able to just kind of fine-tune where we are and to see what needs to happen. But this schedule is going to prepare us for conference, and I love it. I told the players we don't have a whole lot of room in between to recover, because it's back to back to back the way it was scheduled. And so I think that's going to help us, because when we get down to conference play, we don't have a whole lot of rest in the conference tournament. So all of this is going to help us prepare for conference.
This question is for each of the players. Haley can go first. For those who haven't seen you play, how would you describe your game on the court? Is there anybody in particular you kind of model your game after, or kind of what can fans expect from you this season?
Okay, myself, I'm I'm an aggressive guard. You know, I can score the ball on all 3 levels. You know, I'm out there just giving it my best. I mean, I'm gonna take whatever the defense give me. You know, trying to work on that each and every day. And I say I model my game after the person on staff, AD.
I'm a pass first point guard, but I can also shoot the ball as well. I got a good mid-range game. I can get downhill. I love to play defense. Like, that's where I get going. And Coach Cuz say I play like Chris Paul. So.
Coach, Monday is a day that you and your staff and team have been waiting for a long time. I guess 2 parts. How does it feel that it's just a few days away? And 2, kind of what can we expect from Presbyterian? What kind of team are they? How have we been, preparing for them?
Yeah, we are super excited to play. And, right now it's a drag for the team, getting them to want to come in here to practice. But Presbyterian is a very new team. They have a new coach. The coach that they have came from Chicago State. And she spent some time in St. Louis, and so we're not sure what system she's going to run. Presbyterian entire identity, I think, would be different from what it has been in the past. A very fundamental team to now, I think they'll be more athletic. She's bringing in a whole new roster. The players that she retained didn't get a lot of playing time last year, so I think we will see a team that will be extremely athletic, a team that's going to run a lot of cuts, backdoors, ball screen action, is going to push it probably as much as we push it in transition. So I think we'll see a good matchup in Presbyterian.
All right, thank you. This concludes today's press conference.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.